Hello everyone! So today we will be doing the hierarchy explained in the Sixth Sense universe. And I apologize that, yes, I am extremely tired, but I apologize for not posting, so I will be posting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That way you guys are able to do it. I haven't posted for 2 weeks because of many reasons, but let's get started. Before we begin, please note that this isn't a part of the Xenomorph universe for any young viewers, and also yes, I did change the Chiaki War to Sixth Sense due to its name and meaning. Let's begin. Commander. The commander is the queen herself. She makes her hive obey, but is also caring to her hive. The hive also needs her for, well, laying eggs, but she can also make battle tactics. Fun fact, she can keep most of her host memory. This is why Xenomorphs aim for ones with guns, because they have the ability to know how to somewhat use a gun or a sword or anything. There has been incidents for at least 3 queens in one hive, but that is very rare because they would fight a lot. Queens also get special care on the Blossom Moon because they have existed and made this hive. Seconds. Seconds aren't actually heirs to the throne. They're more like learning on how to become a queen. They get exiled, and that way the 2 queens don't fight over the hive. But if they are still young enough, they are personal helpers to the commander and advisor for war. Or some giants that can become queens can stay as a giant warden in quotes, because they are still in second, or if wanted to, and if they do become second, they can choose to be a second warden. Sentry. This is a specialized soldier who fights fungi creatures or any other creatures, such as creatures with rabies or anything like that, which I will explain in a different video. They are also really good at building advanced hives. And also, most of these are not my drawings. Bodyguards or royal guards, protector of the you guessed it, the commander or the queen. That is all they really do, but they also do commands and battles. You only need 1 guardian, and they can be almost everyone's ass. They also follow the commander around to protect her. Royal advisor also help with the guardians, but they also give strategies and ask for information from the cults or anyone else. Knight. They are trained very early on as a ranger in order to protect the hive. They are like Praetorians, but much more than they can protect the hive. They are giants, but still smaller than the queen. They also teach the Neos on protecting the hive and even let the Neos be on top of them. That way they could watch for danger. Royal Striker. They are personal trainers to each Neos. That way they know on what to do in battle, but usually the Guardian does that. Royal Strikers, they also personally mentor the Neos, but older ones. Warplanes. Warplanes are the ones that hit, run, get resources, and return to the hive and repeat. But some of them have no muscle chest and only ribs. So what I mean by that is that, like, they have no hearts in that area, no lungs, no stomach, anything. It's actually above the brain. And so, yeah. And so the ones that do only have ribs, so that means they can be bombers. Or even store Neos inside of them for protection. Slayers are always in battle, usually 20 or less of them, and you don't want to cross as a Yautja or a human. That's how dangerous they are. They usually snatch spines or ribs, or sometimes even both, as a trophy. Kind of a Yautja thing as well. They are very rare, and sometimes not as rare on other planets or continents. The reason is that they need to be heavily skilled sword fighters or sometimes even Xenomorph Terminators. Now, before I continue, Xenomorph Terminators, say that you have loads of Xenomorphs in your house. A Xenomorph Terminator is like a rat Terminator. Canine bat. They are like hit and run xenomorphs, except more dangerous, as you could tell. They also help with building the hive. They are the 8th most common xenomorph. Sniper. Snipers are seed spitters, but also combat spitters. They are actually born from snipers, hunters, and other kinds of shooters, so they have great aim. Viscount. They are similar to the Baron, but they learn to stay in the hive and fight. They still have backlashes. A Baron is also a learning xenomorph becoming a young queen. If they choose this role, they will be booted out much more earlier, only learning the basics and a few advancements. Now, they can choose to have a different role, so yes. Greensmorph. This is Peridot. They're healers, kind of. They grab herbs, bedding, etc. They also have really great sense of smell. Some are really intelligent. That is also all I have for the Greensmorph. Primes. Primes are like the helpers with the repair morphs, and if they check if it's safe or not. They usually hunt for host or chill and relax in the hive until they need to work again. Striker. This is Koi and Seaweed. They are mentors but less advanced, and they train multiple xenomorphs neos at a time, but they need time for each. Even though the guardians are the main helpers and trainers, some neos need help with training, such as running and etc. Devisers are builders for new limbs. They also come up with ideas with a proxy. They also teach neos on how to do these techs. This role is very rare and aren't as common in other hives. Warden. They are protector of the hive. Usually 2 to 3 wardens in each hive, 1 for the queen and 1 for the Greensmorph. Not Cratesmorph, that is an old name. Since Greensmorphs don't have the much ability other than to spray acid from its mouth. Also, wardens have a great sense of warning signals. Occults. They are like mystics. Now, you ain't gonna see this much because they don't really fit into the storyline, but they can see things that others can't, which is their main ability. Vigilance. They protect and kill with no permission. There can only be one. That way they could be handled. Also, they protect during the night, so they're nocturnal. Reinforcers. They shock the xenomorph if they are behaving aggressively towards other xenomorphs. Most of them, they roar at them, but if they have to, they shock the xenomorph. A proxy. All they really do is choose the best idea and battle tactic. That's all they really do. But some of them take care of the neos and form small bonds between the neos when working. They also teach the neos on how to become the proxy. The proxy also is a warrior, but they are higher in rank because of this. Enforcer. Enforcer when necessary, but also when the queen asks. They are part of the war and basically are the third-party commanders, and if they disobey, they will be exiled or killed by a warden or another enforcer or any other xenomorph. Dome. They are They are also barriers, but much different still. They still check up on the spawn, but they get certain hosts first spawn. It's a disgusting process, but becoming a spawn, but it's also very painful as well. I will get into this in a little bit more detail, but not too much detail. That way, YouTube doesn't, demonetize me. They also pick out the gross spawn and see which ones are dead or can't have a seed, embryo. A barrier is like a carrier. Hey, that rhymed. But the barrier can hold spawns and specific other things, and they can leave the hives, such as the clasper. They also teach the neos on how to become the barrier and give little jobs such as holding clasper correctly or holding spawn correctly or seeds, and how to take care of the spawn. That is also another job for the barrier. They need to take care of the spawn. Assassins. Assassins are just drones who kill other xenomorphs and people, and even though the predators, because it either really dangerous or they just do because the queen asks. Oh yeah, and they also are much faster once they level up to the next rank, but will be slower. That is all I have for the assassin, actually. Let's move on to the next. Private. They obey from the enforcer, but if the enforcer isn't there, that means the private will take over and make sure the plan in the war works. They also check up on the Neos and check up on the Guardian. Guardian. They are like nannies and protect the Neos if anything happens to the Neos. They are considered a unruly Guardian if anything happens to the Neos and they die, they are considered unruly Guardians. They rarely go out of the hive, but if they do, it's actually because of stubborn Neos. Backup. Backup are the ones that, just in case, they are in battle, but of course, backup just in case. But they are smaller than drones, but they are still quite powerful. And now there are only usually 20 to 40 in battle, but in 1v1, say a Yautja versus a Xenomorph, they can only be 3 to overpower the other. Repair Morph. All the Repair Morph does is that they create things, destroy things if needed. They also sleep a lot, and they run away from danger, like, for example, predators. So predators think of them as weak and don't even exist to the predator. Ranger. A ranger can either stay as a ranger or choose any other roles. They need to go through vigorous training in order to get that position. The rangers are also the third most common xenomorph. Warrior or Aphia, meaning Apha means warrior. Warriors, of course, do things such as normal warriors and aliens. They hunt for host and guard the hive and obey the commander, but also a lower rank than the ranger. They have to go through a lot before becoming a ranger, and loads of warriors die. Drone or soldier. Drones or soldiers are like army men. They go out to war, protect the hive, but also collect the host. They also help out in the hive. There we go. The Neos are chestbursters. Chestbursters, in my opinion, is way too long of a name for me. They also learn on how to become different roles by barriers, joining the battle tactic plan, etc. They also learn the story about their ancestors. Clasper or Royal Clasper. They are just facehuggers. That's all facehuggers do. They grab your face. Yeah. Seed and Royal Seed. They are just embryos, and yes, they still attack the host, but they stick their tail into the heart. Once the tail is removed from the heart, the host instantly dies, making it a quick death. But sometimes, if the seed is struggling, it will take a while. So yeah, it's quite painful. Spawn and Royal Spawn. Spawns are just overmorphs and they hold the claspers. That is all for the ranks. But before I move on, they glow, and that is kind of really bad. Plus, they're actually not that easy to destroy. You gotta cut it open with a knife. There is a special position, but that will be shown in the series, and I will talk about it in my live stream. Also, when should my live stream be? Should it be tomorrow? A month maybe? Maybe on May? You decide. Hierarchy sheet. So it goes all the way to Neo, Drone, Ranger, Baron, Greensmorph, Viscount. Now the Viscount and Baron, you could choose as a Striker, Slayer, or Occult or Vigilant. And then Sniper is lower rank, so it'll be right here. Just that I didn't have enough room. Now Royal Advisor, then second. And then Enforcer, Bodyguard, etc. Now this is what they follow, except for one of them, the Jilted Hive, has altered it. In different hives and their own culture, they do follow mostly the same culture, but all of them have a little bit different culture in their hive and a little bit on how the ranks are handled. Not the Ghana universe, the Sixth Sense universe versus Aliens universe. Mine has 42 of them or more or less, different kinds of xenomorphs. Has 37 different ranks plus one special one. Has a culture, much more better social structure and positions. Alien universe. only 34 types and possibly 2 more, has only 12 and ranking systems, or more maybe. Social structure is less obvious and then ranks. I will be talking about each hive and their own cultures in a different video. I'm going to be doing some questions you guys can ask, can post in the comments, and I will answer them hopefully. Can there only be females? No, there can be males, females, or non-binary ones. How smart are xenomorphs? They are somewhat smart depending on the host. They do know on how to sneak up and how to not get caught. How many forms can it take? Millions, just like a xenomorph. How did you come up with these ranks and names? Looking at a rank generator and what it means. Alright. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.